Hello guys, welcome to the next video tutorial on Android app development for beginners. In this video we will see how to use wrap content and fill parent properties with your layout width of your widgets, and we will also see, if time permits, how to use password fields in Android activity. So for example, I will take a button here, and for the first time when you drag and drop a button, it's a property, layout property. When I say property in here, when you go to the property called layout colon width, its property is set to a wrap content. And a wrap content just mean that the component just want to display big enough to enclose its content only. Okay, so its button content is only button, and the button size or width is enough to show the button text on this button, right? In the same way, the layout height is also wrap content here. Okay, so the height is also enough to show the button content. Okay, but whenever you change this layout width, for example, I'm going to change it to fill parent. See what happens. It fills all the width of your activity here, right? So the fill parent method, the component, or in the fill parent method, the component want to display as big as its parent, and the parent is activity here, right? And fills the remaining space, right? So whenever you change the layout width to fill parent, it fills all the space in the parent. Okay, and parent is the activity. Now I will change it to wrap content itself, and now I'm going to change the layout height of this button to fill parent. And now whenever you do this for layout height, it fills all the height, right? All the space which is available in the height of the parent, right? And when you do fill parent for both, it will fill all the space of your parent. Okay, so these are some of the properties related to the layout height and layout width. And whenever you, for example, I will just change it to wrap content, both of the width and height, and then I will just change to match parent, and then also it will match the parent space also. Okay, and I can do match parent in layout height, and it will cover the whole height or space in the parent. Okay, so this is how you can resize or you can adjust the layout width and layout height of your widget. Okay, now let's see how to use password field in Android activity. So what we are going to do is we are going to drag and drop this password in text field widgets. So go to the text field category here and drag and drop this password category. Okay, password text field from here, and I'm going to drag and drop this, and this here I'm going to give the width as fill parent. Okay, so it fills the parent. Okay, and now this password, whenever I run the activity, here always comes the it hides the characters, and it only shows the specific character which you want to display. Okay, So when I run this app on an emulator, you can see whenever I want to enter some text in this password text field, you see it's every character is replaced by this dot. Okay, now we will use this button to show whatever we have entered in the password field. So what we are going to do is we are going to go to our main activity here. So in the project, I'm going to go to main activity.java file, and in here, in the main activity itself, I'm going to declare two variables. One is private edit text, and I will name it as, for example, pass for password, or pass underscore word. Okay, and in the same way I will declare a private button. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a method so that on button click event this method is called, and then we are going to display this text. So what we are going to do is we are going to declare a public void, and we name it this method as add listener on button. Okay, and we are not going to pass any argument to this. And then inside this method, what we are going to do is we are going to cast these password and button fields. So because the name of our button or ID of our button is button itself, and added text is added text itself, button and added text, that's why I have used added text in buttons here. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to take this button, and in here this button, and then we are going to add a listener to this button. So buttons, and then dot set on click listener, on click listener, and then inside this listener we are going to create on click listener. Okay, so we will create a new instance of on click listener, new on click listener, and then in here when you click enter, it's going to create a method. So let me readjust the code a little bit. Now inside your on click method here, you can display a message. Now to display a message in Android, you need to import a library called Toast, and Toast is a library which we can use to show messages. So in Android, messages are called toasts. Okay, so we will import now. Once you imported this library, we can display the message using toast inside this on click event. So to display a message, you just need to write toast dot make text, and inside this make text you can display a message. Okay, So what you can do here is you just need to give the name of your activity, which is, in our case, it's main activity. So we will pass this as a first argument dot this, and the second argument we are going to pass is the password field which we are going to take. So this is our password variable. In this we are going to uh, give the show method. So just go outside the make text method and just write dot show. Okay, and this will show this text message whatever we have entered in the password field. Okay, so this is also one kind of a button listener we have made indirectly, and this button listener we can add this method to our onCreate method here like this, and then your activity will listen for this button click event, right? So now we are going to run this, and once this runs we are going to see how we can display a message using this text field. So our app is running now, and we are going to enter some text here as a password. For example, YouTube. Okay, and I will click OK, and when I press the button it shows the message YouTube and it disappears after some time. Okay, for example, I can enter some other text. Programming knowledge, and I will click the button and it shows this message programming knowledge. Okay, so in this way you can use password field and toast, which is a short form of messages in Android, uh, using this Java code. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and bye for now.